All right, episode number 2, modern dating advice, dating tips, relationship advice. We're going to look at dating apps on Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble, and we're going to do a psychological analysis and explain the psychology of dating. So we're going to go through each profile. We'll start at the top, work our way down, and then we'll go back and break it down more thoroughly. So she'll brag to her friends if you make her laugh. She's 25, straight, hairstylist, Paul Mitchell, Christian, conservative, wants a life partner, and then monogamy. So you can see the picture here. She's kind of like that. She's like a hippie Christian hippie. You would never know it, but I'm allergic to sugar. Okay. She's outside drinking some wine. It's a long day at work. You should leave a comment if you have a mustache. And there she is again. All right. So 25, good age, Christian, conservative, good. Doesn't have kids. I was just dead. Is dead. Oh, there it's back. But yeah, you can see she's not, she doesn't have the crazy liberal hair, no piercings, no tattoos. She hasn't desecrated her body. This is the only picture I have concern with. Claiming to be a Christian and a conservative. The dress is kind of, it's odd. Like, it's not something that you would expect a Christian or a conservative, let alone a Christian conservative, to present herself as in public. And this is, I don't know. And the nice thing too is she doesn't have kids, so she's not a single mom, and she wants kids. That's important. So this would definitely be a good candidate for a date. She's not overweight, not a single mom, wants kids, Christian, conservative, all good things. Doesn't look crazy. The only thing is she might be modern conservative. She's modern traditional. She's the type of girl that you see all over social media, the trad wife movement, all over for attention, validation. So I would be cautious of dating her. All right, next girl here. So, shower picture. Something that is a non-negotiable for her is dating someone who is growth-oriented in health and fitness and has some good banter. Reasonable. 34. She's traveling, looks like somewhere in India. Traveling like in the Caribbean or something. And you'll get along with her if you're into sports, exploring the world, and having a good time. Don't hate her if you get overly competitive, or if she gets overly competitive at any games. If you're in first, you're last. Okay. So let's go back and let's dissect this. So not overweight, good. Tattoos, not good. Growth oriented, that's good. Health and fitness, good. The travel pictures is where you got to be concerned. Tattoos are just trashy on a girl. I'm sorry. Exploring the world, that's definitely an L. Especially considering too, she wants to. How you gonna have a long-term relationship, but your main focus is exploring the world? And look, if she's gonna be, she's telling you right here, I'm gonna be overly competitive at every single game you play, and that's good because you never want to let her win. Don't let her win at any game. Put her in her place, be competitive, because a girl should never beat you at anything ever. No mercy. And she does yoga, so not bad, but definitely not long-term relationship material because of the tattoos, the fascination with traveling, exploring the world. She would have the thing with traveling you have to understand is if they're into traveling the world, being spontaneous, being adventurous, adventuring, that type of thing, that shows their personality that it's going to be hard for them to settle down and stay in one place. It's going to be hard for a serious, committed, long-term relationship. Most of these girls are more into the open, casual type of thing. So just want to be aware of that whenever you enter into a relationship, start talking to a girl. All right, we'll look at this next chick. So picture right here, lip filler, fake tits. And remember, the way to win her over is you got to be consistent, emotionally intelligent, have effort, and be funny too. She's 33. She's a Christian. Overweight. Okay. Her most irrational fear is wasting time on people who lie. So she's probably been cheated on in the past or been lied to. Unusual skills. Depends what is considered unusual to you. Okay. She got that liberal piercing. Okay. So let's take a look at that. All right. So fake lips, fake tits, but she's a Christian who smokes weed. So you got to win her over by being consistent, emotionally intelligent, and have effort and be funny. Meanwhile, she's a Christian who smokes weed, has fake lips, fake tits. But hey, you got to be consistent. You got to be intelligent. Okay. I want someone to explain to me, how can you participate in not being of a sober mind, which is what the Bible teaches, but you still smoke weed and claim Christianity? And people say, oh, well, no, it's Jesus wouldn't judge. Who are you to cast a judgment? You're right on casting a judgment, because as Christians, you're supposed to call other Christians out, call them higher, and forego those types of activities. And she's probably a single mom based off of that build, right? Her being overweight, ton of makeup. I mean, it's a crazy amount of makeup. The fake lips. And she's talking about her most irrational fears, wasting time on people who lie. But you'll have girls like this lie about their appearance, lie about their personality, lie about what they do with their faith. So that's what we call delusion, right? And typically liberals have this piercing. So she's probably a liberal as well. And there's nothing modest about this. So all right, let's check her out. So Blondie. All right, the way to win her over is you have to love God, value family, and move with intention. Strong morals, consistency, and a kind heart by leading with honesty, respect, and good character. Okay, sounds good. 32, Christian, monogamy, dates with intention. Typical Sunday for her is church, tea, family time, and a cozy Sunday reset. Her greatest strength is her loyalty in the way that she cares for people. She has a good heart while still knowing her worth, staying kind in a world that makes that hard sometimes. Odd picture. Didn't she say? She said she was a Christian. So she's a Christian. I'm unsure. I'm really unsure. If someone can demonstrate to me and explain to me like I'm not that smart, is this modesty? Is this modesty? So these are things you got to be aware of when it comes into dating, right? Because you see a girl who is not overweight, doesn't have kids, so she's not a single mom. So why is she in her 30s, single, wants kids, doesn't have kids, comes off as a good girl as far as what she says you have to have: strong morals, consistency, a kind heart, lead with honesty, respect, and good character, love God, value family, move with intention. And a lot of girls, a lot of modern women have learned that by going into Christianity, Catholicism, traditional type environments, you're going to find typically more guys who are family oriented, move with intention, have more strong morals, consistency, a kind heart, honest, respect, good character. But these traditional values don't necessarily go with this, right? So girls, modern women will behave like modern women. So these girls have modern behavior but expect traditional treatment. Does that make sense? They expect traditional treatment while still acting and behaving like a modern woman. Would a conservative, would a traditional woman, a trad wife dress like this in public? Maybe for your husband in private, but in public is crazy. Don't be that guy that is just so excited that a girl's talking to you or looks at you that you just overlook these things, because these are things you want to question, especially if you grew up and actually have a strong moral compass, actually are a good guy and have good values. But like, I would ask her about this, I noticed you said you want a guy who is family oriented, has good morals, good ethics, values family, and you say these things, but your behavior is kind of showing me something different. Can you explain that? That's what you have to look out for when it comes to women presenting as traditional, presenting as conservative, presenting as Christian, but they still behave in a modern way. Never listen to the words, watch the behavior. Our next profile. Okay, so pay attention. God has a cross. A life goal of hers is to travel the world. She's 31, Catholic, and wants a long-term relationship. She's traveling on the beach, out at some national park. She goes crazy for pizza and tacos, okay? And she'll fall for you if you are sweet and patient. Right, okay. Her in the wild, okay. And she's a single mom. All right. So we'll start off. She's Catholic, single mom, wants a long term relationship. Life goal of hers is to travel, wears a cross, cleavage exposed, ton of makeup, fake lips. Yeah. And so I'll explain why you don't, the psychology of dating a single mom, why you don't want to date a single mom, right? Because her being a single mom, it changed her behavior, changed her energy from feminine to masculine because she's had to protect and provide for herself and her kids. That puts her in a masculine energy, masculine frame. Okay. Protect, provide for herself and her kids. So you're gonna have to deal with that. The confrontations, the combativeness. She's not gonna agree with you. She's gonna be set in her ways. Because typical feminine behavior is submissive, listen, agreeable. Masculine behavior is disagree, not submit, challenge, question. The second reason why you don't date a single mom is she's putting her kids first. She's going to put herself first, her career, her interests, right? Traveling. So you're lucky to be top 5 in her life. So you're entering a relationship, not even the priority, and you're dealing with a masculine woman. Those are the two main reasons why you never date a single mom. To add to that, what you want to be aware of is find out from her, how long has she been Catholic? Did she grow up Catholic? Is it a new thing? Because a lot of single moms will come into Catholicism, Christianity, because they know they can find a traditional guy, a more conservative guy, a guy that will want to provide and do the things that she wants. So if you're a single guy that's Christian or Catholic, never date a single mom. Find someone to start a family with on your own. If you're a single dad with kids, sure, go for it. The traveling issue is that's not compatible with stability. If her whole focus is traveling, adventuring, exploring, being spontaneous, that is antecedent to a stable, long-term, serious relationship, especially if you have kids. Why is the life goal of yours to travel? Why is the life goal not to start to add on to your family, take care of your family, find a husband, get married, have more kids, provide for your kids better? Why is that not the life goal? So many people have kids, but they still only think about themselves. And that's how you can tell automatically if her interests are not being family oriented and just doing things for herself, such as traveling, life experiences, self interest. So you see here, she's got the tattoos. No. Simple pleasures, hiking, hot yoga, Pilates, golf, white wine. Sounds just like every basic white girl. 26 years old, bisexual, spiritual, liberal. She's out here doing witchcraft. I'll never understand the attraction to girls with tattoos. I'll never get it. The conspiracy is typically guys with lower testosterone, messed up hormones are attracted to more masculine women. That's the conspiracy. I'll have to conduct further research on that to figure it out, but it might be true. It's like the whole birth control thing. Women on birth control are attracted to more feminine guys, guys that paint their nails, have no muscle mass, skinny, no very high pitched voices, that have no facial hair, those types of things. When they get off birth control, it's the opposite. They want a guy with darker features, darker hair, facial hair, chest hair, muscle. I think it's the same thing. Guys that are attracted to girls with tattoos probably have low T, low testosterone. That's why they want a more masculine woman to compensate for them, and they don't even realize that. Think about it, it makes sense. That's why these same guys are into girls who have bigger muscles than them, stronger than them. Want a girl to do 40 push-ups straight. She wants someone who will make her life easier. She loves yoga. The wine, it's just, I wouldn't be surprised if she listens to Taylor Swift, goes to Disney. Mm. All right, so not a single mom. That's good. Not overweight. Those are the two good things. Somewhat active. I mean, hot yoga and Pilates isn't really active. It's just enhanced stretching. There's really no muscle mass built over an extended period of time, so you could do better if your focus is being active and fit. But the good things are she's not overweight, not a single mom. The downsides are she's bisexual, she's liberal, spiritual, way too many tattoos, and she's look at that. I love me. So anytime you encounter a girl like this, even without seeing this little sticker, you can already tell that she's just a narcissist, in love with herself. How she dresses, the tattoos, the insecurity. So would you want to date or be in a relationship with a girl who is obsessed with herself, a narcissist? It's never worth it. So, like I said, she has 2 or 3 good things going for her, but a lot of bad. So she is a 3 out of 10. Uno, dos, tres, 3 out of 10. I need my notebook to write all the traits and categorize and score it. 3 out of 10. Miss Tattoos is a 3 out of 10. That's her rating. All right, so there's that. And she will fall for you if you ask good questions and love someone who's curious. She's definitely curious because she says right here she's queer. And queer is short for curious. 29, atheist, liberal, man, long-term relationship. I don't know. It's just, some people are just not good at taking pictures. And unfortunately, she's one of them. Like the mouth open. It's not a good look for her because she's overweight. Dating her is like dating Jessica Day, except I only have one roommate, no bangs. I have no idea who that is. It looks like she's out somewhere. Her most irrational fear is that a bird will peck her eyes out. That's odd. She's got a kangaroo pouch. Odd tattoo. What is that? Yeah, and it's the crazy thing is, it's like she either got these photos done by someone she knows or she paid for these. That's like she paid for that candid shot, and I'm pretty sure she did the same thing for these two. Not good at all. But I think we can assume that, yeah. All right. So not too bad of features, ton of makeup. She smokes weed, not good. Atheist, not good. Drinks, not good. Queer, bisexual, not good. Liberal, not a single mom. So that's the one positive I can give her. Not a single mom. Overweight. So I guess I could. This is a DIY project. Do it yourself. You know those shows like on HGTV, Home Rebuilders, DIY project. That's what I'm labeling this. I would just put DIY, do it yourself project. And the project is you help her lose weight. If she drops 100 pounds, a lot better, right? Because let's just be honest, she's flabby. The stomach is crazy. So if she lost like 100 pounds, she'd be in a way better position for as far as dating goes. Because you obviously want the best match for you. Okay. So if she's rated as like a 2, or I'll just say she's a 3 out of 10. We'll just say that she's a 3 out of 10. She can get to a 6 if she lost 100 pounds, right? If she lost 100 pounds, right there, she's a 6 out of 10. So as a man, you should be able to take this DIY project and turn her in from a 2 to a 6. Take her to the gym with you, show her how to lift weights, show her how to eat right, show her how to lose weight. And not only are you going to help her look better for you, she's going to be healthier for you. She's going to be more attached to you and see you as a leader because you led her to a better life, a healthier life. You changed her for the better. And I remember there was some guy telling me that when I told him that advice, he was like, oh, but then she'll just leave you. That's possible, but then that's your fault because so many guys don't self-improve. Their girl will self-improve or they'll self-improve together, but then the guy stops. You should always keep continuing your self-improvement, continuing going to the gym every day, eating right every day, running every day, reading, self-educating, becoming better mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. That's what you need. But the ideology would be a problem. Like if you're not a liberal through and through, then it would never work. You can't be Republican, conservative, and date a liberal. You can't be religious and then date an atheist. So the ideology will have to match. And typically, liberal atheist guys who drink alcohol and smoke weed, they're not going to be in shape. So they could probably take this on. That was Hinge. Let's go to Bumble. Got the sisterhood here, living life in their mid 30s with the lip fillers, the little dresses. Man, they're probably, and she's a flight attendant. She's killing it in life. All right. Her bio says she's a dog mom, never had kids or married. She likes to be active and stay in shape. Pilates and weight training combo is what she's into lately. Snowboarding and hot yoga in the winter months. And I like trying new foods and to see new places, which is why I love my job. I own my own place in my car. It's an odd thing to put in a bio. You own your own place in a car. Okay. Active, wants kids, doesn't have kids. Interesting. And she's looking for a long-term relationship and a life partner. Can't have both. Cannot. Well, it's a liberal thing. Liberals are into the partner thing. Oh, I want a life partner to do life partner things with. You're never going to hear them say husband, wife, or marriage. It's a life partner for them because they're gay. And so she's into Pilates, snowboarding, concerts, foodie, reading. All right. Thin, not overweight. Good. And again, not a single mom. So not overweight, not a single mom. 2 positives for her. She's active, wants kids. So good. And what makes a relationship great for her is honesty and authenticity. She wants to find someone who can be herself with 100%. And she likes to make jokes and live positively. Okay. Her causes are Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ rights, and reproductive rights. All L's. Okay. Hopefully you're also into adventures. I like to experience all life has to offer. I want to taste food around the world and snowboard on mountains around the globe. Miss America is a world traveler. And instead of drinks, let's go do an activity, mini golf, go-karts, axe throwing, hiking. It just sounds like a bad time. All right. So I had this revelation, and the revelation is, why do so many women obsess about traveling, adventuring, exploring, and being spontaneous? Why is this the thing? And the conclusion I reached is because their jobs are not demanding. So really think about that. Don't get excited, but their jobs are not demanding. She's a flight attendant. Let's be real. How demanding is that job? Physically, mentally, spiritually, how demanding is it to walk up and down and be objectified because you're in a short skirt? And that's the only reason why you have that job. How demanding and challenging is that? You're taking drink orders, you're passing out free pretzels. Someone has to do it. I'm not saying it's not a bad job, but what I'm saying is the psychology behind it is because she's not in a demanding job, that's why she's got all this like unused energy and potential. She's like, oh, I got to go adventure here, be spontaneous this, go travel here. I need to do an activity every day. Because these girls are not getting, they're not exerting at much at their job. They're not doing a physical job. They're not doing a mentally, spiritually draining job. Because if you've ever worked a job that was demanding, you're off of work, you're like, man, like, yeah, I'll push myself to go to the gym, but I don't know about anything else. I got to make sure I'm good for the next day, for the rest of the week. With these girls that are in HR, working in a building, flight attendant, bottle girl, realtor, job is cake. That's why they need that spontaneous fix. So let me get off my soapbox. So she's talking about never having kids or being married. Okay, that's good. But she wants kids and she's 35. So why do you think this hasn't happened yet? Why do you think the 35-year-old flight attendant who's not overweight, not a single mom, doesn't have kids yet but wants kids, isn't married? Why do you think that is? Well, it's because she's so focused on her job. That's why. Her job, she's gone every week, several days at a time, or on rotation, week on, week off. Is that conducive to a serious, long-term, stable relationship? Imagine if you had kids. Hey, I'm going to be gone for a week. Who's raising the kids? Hopefully a family member, but it should be the mother. So I'll take a bet and say her job is keeping her single and childless. And her fixation and fascination with adventures, right? You can't tell me your whole personality is your job being a flight attendant, traveling the world, wanting to experience everything life has to offer. Travel the world, adventures. That's all she's talking about. It's going to be very difficult to find a guy for a serious relationship, get married, and have kids if this is your personality, if this is your lifestyle. You have to change. Definitely get a different job. You cannot be a flight attendant. Go do something else where you can stay in one place for an extended period of time. The problem is so many of these girls in this lifestyle of traveling, life experiences, adventuring, it's their personality. It's become them. That's why they choose these types of jobs. There's no stability in that. So she's a 3 out of 10. That's her rating. Because she's not overweight, not a single mom. But her being a liberal, using pronouns, brings her down. Her job brings her down. And her lifestyle, that's very, for when it comes to dating, she's a 3 out of 10. All right, let's take a look at that bio. 39 years old. So she's 39 years old. She's a little goofy, loves her job. enjoys being outside at the cabin and just looking for someone to challenge me and laugh with. Also, I have the ability to travel and or work remotely and starting to think in order to find a Christ-centered, conservatively man, it may not be in Minnesota. Well, she's wrong about that. It's not Minnesota. It's what she's putting out there, her lifestyle. We'll come back. So she's active, wants kids, doesn't have kids, Christian conservative, long-term relationship. Her morning routine looks like taking her dog out, coffee, Bible, run, and shower. And she probably should not admit this, but she could eat a whole jar of peanut butter with a spoon. Okay. And what makes a relationship great for her is good communication, laughter, Christ at the center. All sound like pretty good things, right? So let's see. Let's go back. So let's figure out, why is she 39 years old, wants kids, doesn't have kids, is a devout Christian and a conservative. How does this happen? Why do you think? Why do you think? Tell me. So she's 39, Christ-centered, conservative, wants kids, doesn't have kids. So how does this end up? How does she end up being 39, single, no kids, but wants kids?
I think it's surprising that she's on a dating app because usually when I find people that are like that, they haven't tried everything.
I mean, clearly she goes to church, so why can't she find these guys at church or Bible study? That's a question. Yeah, most are married. You know, she's almost 40. So I'll say it. It's because her job is to travel and work remotely. So if her job is traveling, that hurts your chances of finding a serious relationship. She went to college, got a graduate degree. That's 6, 7, 8 years of school. You know, she's not overweight. So take that out of the equation. She hasn't desecrated her body with tattoos. Take that out of the equation. So how does she, being almost 40, not overweight, no kids, no tattoos, doesn't look like a drug addict, why is she single with no kids but wants kids in marriage? Now, typically you would say, well, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. The problem is she's Christian and conservative. So those two things push you towards that. That's conservatism. That's part of being a conservative. It's definitely part of Christianity is family creation, procreation. So either she was in a long, serious relationship and it didn't end well. But then even if that was the case, why didn't she have kids yet? So I would definitely be hesitant if you felt like pursuing this, but just for the mere fact of, if you're younger than her, I wouldn't do it. Now, if you're the same age or older, I would. If you're younger than her and you don't have kids, but you want kids of your own, no way. If you're her age or older, go for it. Because it's going to be harder for her to have kids, plural, at her age. Yeah, it just makes you think, you just think of all the lies women buy, traveling, their job, college. Because it's not like she's not hideous, she's not overweight, no, not a single mom. So automatically that's like 80% of all women right there. So just her right here is top 20% by those variables. Why it hasn't happened? It's just I'd be questioning that. All right, let's go to the next one. 31 years old, out in the nightlife scene. All right, so she's 31 and her bio is she's fluent in spirituality, wellness, and planning her next adventure, of course. Can probably recommend a supplement for whatever ails you. Big on personal growth, new experiences, and meaningful connections. Looking for her partner in crime, the legal kind. Right. Okay. Kind of tells you everything you need to know right there, but we'll continue. So she's wants kids, doesn't have kids, looking for a life partner, and she's into yoga, concerts, festivals, foodie, exploring new cities. Okay. So not a single mom, not overweight, no tattoos, good. She's known for bringing people together. Okay. And she shows she cares for you by showing up for you. All right. All right. So again, the question is, she's not a single mom, no kids, no tattoos, doesn't look like a drug addict. Why is she 31 but hasn't figured that part out yet? Okay, so why is she 31, wants kids, doesn't have kids, and still trying to find the right guy? Well, let's take a look. Perhaps because she's always planning her next adventure, right? She says right there. She's planning her next adventure always. She's a doctor. So she went to school for several years. Again, do you think it would have been wiser for her to maybe not focus on her career, not focus on college if she wanted to get married and have kids? It's a valid question. Because a lot of girls will get into their 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, 40s. They chose the career in college instead of family. And then they're in their late 30s or 38, 39, 40, trying to find a guy to settle down with and have kids with. And you just hope that she doesn't end up like that. So we can rate her as following. So we could say, not overweight, good. No tattoos, not a single mom. Doesn't really look, crazy like a drug addict. So that's a 5. So she's a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. For dating, for a relationship, she's a 5 out of 10. Because I don't know why would you want to date a career woman? She's gonna be focused on her career. So where do you fall in that relationship category? Yeah, we'll have to see. Let's take a look at Tinder.
It's like you have someone following you right now. Actual person on the street.
All right, so she's 35 years old, like a mermaid. She's looking for short-term fun. So she's from SoCal. She's here for fun, nothing serious. She's unapologetically authentic and a chronic oversharer, so do not be shy with me. I have an adventure spirit and enjoy the outdoors and traveling the world. I spend my free time at the gym or at home cooking or otherwise taking care of myself. I'm not much of a party girl anymore, but do occasionally like to let loose. Send me a message, let's chat and see if we connect. All right, there's a big thing right there. One, the picture tells you everything you need to know. Okay. Revealing tattoos and her age, almost 40. And she only wants something short term. And this is right here. She's not much of a party girl anymore. So a party girl can mean a lot of things. And if she was in Southern California as a party girl and she's self-employed, I think we can assume she might have been on, in front of a camera doing things. I'm just saying. She's bisexual, tatted up, 35, is a retired party girl who travels the world, is and was self-employed. I mean, 1 + 1 = 2. We can figure it out. So this is a girl just for recreational use. You don't date her because of all the baggage she's probably carrying. She smokes weed constantly, works out often, doesn't want kids, and she's into traveling. So when it comes to dating and relationships, like serious dating, serious relationship, this is a 3 out of 10. She's a 3 out of 10 because she smokes weed every day, is self-employed, bisexual, former party girl, and the self-employed thing. We all know what this is. And doesn't want kids. Yeah, you don't want to be in a serious relationship with a girl that doesn't want kids. You're just wasting your time. All right, 21 years old, still figuring it out. So she loves her black, light skin, and mixed kings for sure. Low key need more people who are fun to hang out with. Just letting y'all men know. Do not try take advantage. My care, love, and time. I'm too crazy. Her English is so bad. But hey, I'm pretty chill, not gonna lie. I find myself hilarious. I love people with humor. Before you judge, just get to know me and my history too. Also, I separate my work and my personal life mindsets. Thank you. Again, just like this last girl. Before you judge me and my history too. So again, we all know what she was probably doing. Adult modeling. Yeah, okay. She's in adult modeling. She was a corn star. Yeah, okay. So it's clear you don't. Her past does matter. Don't let any girl or gay dude try to make you feel bad for saying, oh, her past doesn't matter. She's changed. I doubt that. Your past will always matter. You can forgive people. You should forgive, but never forget. Okay? Forgive, but do not forget. Because of all the trauma, the baggage, everything that comes into that type of lifestyle, especially being so young, that is not for you to take on, to try to change, to especially that type of stuff. No way. That is a portal you don't want to go into. All right, so she's 34. Still figuring it out at 34 is crazy. That's her about me right there. Says, hey, I collect favorite coffee spots, scenic trails, and useless fun facts. All right. So she's what, 30, 34? Pronouns, and she's at the local coffee shop. Okay. Works out often. That's good. She's a single mom. Okay. Interesting. So she's a single mom that's fascinated with road trips, concerts. Okay. Notice how there's nothing about being family oriented. Always interesting because that is an option for women to choose, being family oriented. They never choose it though for some reason. Single moms never choose that. It's always some type of activity, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the 34-year-old single mom still trying to figure it out, who's not interested in being family oriented? Her interests are hiking, nature, road trips. Why is she not family oriented? Maybe she just didn't see that interest. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Why do you think that is?
I think it's trauma.
You think it's trauma?
Yeah.
Trauma for her?
I think that she experienced something that made her afraid to lean into that direction.
Even if I wanted to believe that trauma causes her to focus on adventuring, exploring, traveling, it's still her kids. So can't she put trauma aside and put her kids first?
I think most people don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most single parents don't put their kids first. It's just a fact.
If they were
It's a
never
fact.
taught, then how would they know how to do
No, that's BS. My parents divorced when I was 4. No one taught me that, but I know that's what's supposed to be done. Everyone always has an excuse. Oh, my mommy and daddy didn't look at me when I was a kid. I'm broken. my papa didn't treat me right. Okay. So it's not trauma, it's just selfishness. Single parents, typically, not all, are selfish. They put themselves first, they put their kids second. They throw their kids on a cell phone, on an iPad, on a Chromebook, and that's who parents their kids. Most parents are not raising their kids. That's why Gen Z and the younger generation in K through 12 right now are lunatics because they're not being parented by anybody. And it's sad to see because you should take care of your kids. You should put your kids first. You should put your family first, not your own self-interest. That's why you never date a single mom. Let's take a look at this next Tinder profile. So 25-year-old party girl, long-term partner, and she's a cowgirl turned city girl. Let's go ride horses or a pool day. Okay. She's a bartender, and her biggest green flag is that she rides horses, winky face. I wonder what that means. Doesn't drink, but she smokes weed. And she wants kids. All right, so she's into bars. So she loves to go to bars. She loves to go to bars, but she doesn't drink. She wants kids and is a bartender. Why do you think why do you think she loves to go to bars but she doesn't drink? Is it for attention and validation from guys? Because you can see she's out at a bar right now based off of the picture. So imagine this. You see a girl out at a bar dressed like this. Is it for attention and validation? She doesn't drink alcohol, so don't offer her to buy her a drink. Why is that? You never want to meet a girl at a bar or a club. Never. That's why most relationships fail, because you meet a girl at a bar or a club, and then you wonder why they're crazy. You wonder why they're typically looser with sex. You wonder why they crave attention and validation, because they would go to the bar and the club, get hit on all the time, have guys stare at them, have guys approach them. There's a famous saying by a philosopher: you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife.
What philosopher?
That's Plato. You didn't know that?
No.
It was Hostradamus. So not Nostradamus, Hostradamus. She loves to ride horses, winky face. I'll decode that for you in case you don't know what hoology is. That means she wants to ride you, cowgirl style. You know, I don't like that I know these things, but I grew up in Las Vegas. This will be the last one because this is the end of the little thing here, and we'll end it off on a bang. You got a 43-year-old out here, just getting that good stretch in. You know, she's stretching because of her back. She's not trying to show anything off though. She's actually trying to show off her cross. She's trying to show to you she's like, I'm a Christian. That's what she's doing. She's not doing anything else. She's like, man, I just want to show everyone I'm a Christian. That's what she's doing. She's looking for short-term fun. 43 years old. Single mom. That's what she's doing. That's what the 43-year-old single mom is doing. She's like, let me show everyone my faith. Praise Jesus. That's what she's doing. But no, the reality is she's showing off her breast because she wants attention and validation, because she's a 43-year-old single mom who's not getting anything. That's why she's doing it. And her wearing the cross is a lot of people, especially girls, you see a girl wearing a cross dressed like this, public, private, whatever. You could say, oh, she's in her backyard. All right, she posted this on the internet for the whole public to see. Okay. So ask yourself why that is. A lot of girls wear it for jewelry. It's like a fashion statement. It's just like rappers wearing a cross. Yet they're drug dealers and criminals. So it's crazy. What would be the advice you have for her as a Christian dating apologetic?
I would say match your values. Like, do what you say you
Yeah,
believe.
match your values. Do what you say you believe. If you're a Christian, should you be in your 40s looking for short term fun on a dating app? Probably not. Probably not. And imagine your kids, like you want your kids to see this. And the sad thing is, you probably ask that question to a lot of these single moms, and they're like, I don't care. And that's the problem. That is the problem. But yeah. So we looked at Hinge, Tinder, Bumble. We looked at these dating apps to give you insight onto what to look out for when it comes to dating. Modern dating, relationships, dating advice, dating tips, all of that. You could say red pill, manosphere, men's self improvement, but what to look out for. Why you never date a single mom, because she's in her masculine energy, masculine frame, because she's had to protect and provide for herself and her kids. That puts her in a masculine frame. So that's why you don't date a single mom. The second reason why you never date a single mom is she's putting her kids first, herself first, her job, her traveling. So you're going to enter into a relationship and just be in the corner. That's why you don't date single moms. But yeah, we use the dating apps. We look at online profiles to show you, because it's the same thing in person. These are things you find out in person when you meet a girl. When you talk to her, go on a date, after a couple dates, you find out, does she have kids? You find out her values. You find out her ideology. So it's the same exact thing. So the what you look out for is the same thing, whether it's a dating app, whether it's Instagram, whether it's in person. You look for the same green flags, the same red flags, the same inconsistencies. You don't look at a girl's, you don't listen to her words, watch her behavior. That's probably the best advice is don't listen to what a girl says, watch her behavior. Okay? That is the best dating advice you can get. So this was episode 2. Typically I go for 3 hours. The first hour is dating app reviews, advice. The second hour is dating content on like X, TikTok, Twitter, Reddit. And then the third hour is politics, but it is way too late and we got to eat. Big dogs got to eat. Episode 3 tomorrow.